Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
And I'm Michael Mandel. We're here once again. We've had a bit of a hiatus, which is not something you have to go to a doctor for. But
well, if it's hiatal, sometimes you do.
You could. Hiatus.
Hiated all.
Yes, that's what happens. So, but we're here to try to get
today.
Up to things. We are here.
Next week, I understand, Michael, we're going to be moving into a brand new studio. We'll have a new set.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Well, you know, there's a lot of big changes in the
in what?
Talk show universe.
There is, did Dave Letterman come back on?
No, he didn't. But
he didn't? That's why I'm wearing this suit, you know, because he's not on.
Oh.
Who's on instead of him?
Well, Stephen Colbert show premiered this week.
What happened to his other show? Did they fire him?
Yeah, no, he traded off.
I did see him. He is totally thrilled with being on that show. I mean, he is visibly happy.
I think he still needs to learn to not talk quite so much. You know, he needs to try and be less clever, especially when he's talking to Elon Musk. I think he kind of bummed Elon Musk out a little bit, tried to be a little too cutesy with him.
Well,
Musk isn't used to doing interviews.
He was countering him. He was countering him with the fact that they're putting other taxi drivers out of business.
Yeah.
But you know, he's still better than Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is always pandering. You know.
Yes.
Steve Colbert was pandering to Jeb Bush because you hear what he said about how much possibility there is of him voting for him? He said more than 0%.
Well, that's pretty good.
He said there's more than 0% that he would vote for him.
I liked that he asked him what he'd do different than his brother did. That was a pretty good question.
What was the answer?
He wouldn't have...
or what's the difference between him and his brother?
Done a few things differently.
But
anyway, enough of that.
Wait, I want to talk about Colbert forever.
Well, let's do.
He's got some weird things.
He'll be on next week's.
That's true. He's going to be here next week.
Will he? In our new studio?
Oh, yeah, he'll be here in the new studio. We were waiting for that, and he's waiting for that too.
It's rumored Stephen Colbert will be on our show next week.
That's what I hear, because he's going to be as excited as we are. He goes, those guys really deserve to move up in the world.
Right.
Just as he did move up.
And I'm sure he'll have something to say. Well, you know, he had a few things to say last night about 9/11. Being today is 9/12.
Yes.
And so do we,
So do we have things to say about 9/11. First of all, what was I going to say about 9/11? I can't remember.
Well, if you try looking for, that's the emergency number people call when they're in trouble.
The same thing there.
It's also the dates that will live in infamy.
Oh, so yesterday, 9/11, it's called Freedom Day now. And you know why?
Why?
It's in memory of when we had freedom. Because if you recall, before 9/11, you can get on an airplane with your shoes intact.
Right.
You could bring booze and more than 3 ounces of alcohol.
Right.
There was no NSA. They probably...
No, there was an NSA.
Yeah, but they didn't...
TSA. There was no TSA.
Yeah, but I don't think there was an NSA, but NSA did not actually tape every conversation we had.
Right.
I don't care about that. You know, people... Wow, that looks great.
But we didn't have the
we
didn't have the Patriot Act.
Yes, we didn't have the Patriot Act.
Which took away all of our rights.
I don't mind if people are listening in on my phone calls. I just don't.
Well,
because if they are so bored, look at that. That guy's doing that Irish dancing.
Riverwalk upside down. I've listened in on your phone calls, Michael, and
no, that's because I'm talking to you. Oh, and you get very bored. It'll put you to sleep, right? Yeah, I can talk to you. You just pass out. I don't even know what those pictures are. What is that?
The plane hitting the building.
Plane hitting the building. Oh, okay. There's the close-ups. And
how'd they get a shot like that? Somebody must have been waiting with.
Well, you know, the planes not only hit the Twin Towers, they also hit the Pentagon.
Yes,
and then another one was shot down over Pennsylvania.
No, the people on the plane ran into the cockpit and they struggled with the plane and it crashed.
That's the popular story, but we know that didn't really happen.
Well, there's many stories that you believe because you're the guy who...
They didn't break through with a damn cart.
What'd they do?
They were shot down by a plane out of the New York Air Force Base. They shot the plane down. Otherwise, you don't get wreckage that scatter for 2 miles if a plane just crashes in a field. Wreckage was spread out over 2 miles. Some was in a lake. The plane was shot down. That's general knowledge.
I assume you think that the rest of it was planned too. The fact that the guy who went into the Pentagon was not really able to drive even a small two-propeller plane, yet he managed to get exactly into which room did he go into? The budget building, where they were apparently hiding
trillions of dollars,
$14 trillion of money that
they
was
couldn't
unaccounted for.
Right. And well, you know what? There was never any footage of an airplane hitting. the Pentagon. Many people think it was a
I don't
missile.
remember. Well, I'll have to go back and look at that.
And why did
But after that, freedom, we had the freedom to go and send our troops into Afghanistan and then Iraq, which had nothing to do with
9/11.
with the 9/11. And
the Saudi Arabians are the ones that attacked us. Why didn't we invade Saudi Arabia?
well, nobody
They've
there,
got oil
nobody,
too.
the entire country did not attack us. Just Bush's friends.
Which is, the next day, the Bin
So
Laden
they
family,
say.
who was
So they
visiting-
say.
So who says?
So they say.
Oh, they.
Yes.
Well, the Bin Laden
underground.
family was in Washington on 9/11, and on 9/12 they were
En
friends.
route.
They were visiting the Bushes, and Bush got them out of the country pretty quickly.
We're not saying anything, though, are we? We're not
Well, it's all
saying that.
common knowledge.
Yeah, but they did a thorough study which was canceled because they don't know what happened. We had our own 9/11 year like about a month ago where there were 2 bombs went off.
Two little
Did you remember
firecrackers.
that? 2 bombs went off. And I realized
Just some kids
what it
having
was
a-
about. They say they're sending a message because it was churches.
Yeah.
Not the story at all. You're looking at where it was, and you're making up a plot from that. What I would say is, first, there was a mailbox, right, blown up, and then a garbage can.
Yeah.
It was a protest against junk mail, because you get all the mail you get in your mailbox goes right to the garbage can, and they're blowing both up because it was a anti-junk mail thing.
Just
I think they should follow that lead.
Well, why not? It's a couple of kids having a bit of mischief.
Well, and the guy who did it was just sort of it wasn't even in anything in front of the Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. Well, that was
It didn't blow up, it was just
no,
something.
a scare.
And that had nothing to do with this whole thing.
I think it's people from security companies just trying to drum up business. That's all that it is.
Ooh, it's like kids who are the children of people who own glass stores throw rocks at windows.
Right,
Is
right.
that what happens? That's a good commercial plan. When you make your business plan up, kids breaking windows.
Now, speaking of kids, there's something for kids and adults to do this weekend
there?
over at the Comic-Con.
Oh, we were gonna. Oh, that was back. Did we do that backwards?
No, we didn't. We should talk about that. Tonight is Aggie Night.
Yeah, we'll talk about Aggie Night.
It's the Aggies' first home game of the season,
'Cause those
and
guys go round up terrorists
football.
with their lassos.
and they're trying to fill the stadium. They want everybody to wear white tonight for, I don't know why. But
For 9/12.
I'm afraid I won't be attending.
Why are you afraid? What? You don't
very
watch
afraid.
TV. You don't watch sports,
I
do
don't-
you?
Well, certainly not the Aggie football team. No, I don't. I don't follow them. It's a
Not
pitiful
many
sight
people
to
want to do
see.
that. There's arguments that says that if we get rid of the Aggie football team, the budget of NMSU would be much more balanced.
Well, it would be. They're spending way too much money on Aggie football. It's always a losing season.
You're not in it to win.
What are you in it for, Michael?
You're in it because of the game, the pureness of the game.
The
I
game.
mean, why do so many people play golf? You know what Caitlyn Jenner said, I guess it was yesterday, or it was in the paper yesterday, that having breasts really have helped her golf game. Something about the breasts
Get your weight
keeping
behind
your arms from moving too much.
Oh.
She said being a woman helps her golf game.
How big did she get?
They never really. I haven't seen that.
So big.
I don't think she's as big as a Kardashian, but I guess that's her eventual goal. I don't know if you could do it right away, get that big. Kardashian big. That took years of drinking good milk
Oh, I don't know about that, but
or a good operation. Is that what you're saying?
Having good Armenian food.
Armenian food would help.
Anyway, back
What's
to
next?
the Comic-Con is happening this weekend.
Speaking of Kardashians, Comic-Con.
Yes,
another
comics.
Weird thing.
at the Las
going on.
Cruces Convention Center going on today
People
and
wearing
tomorrow.
weird costumes.
And lots of vendors selling all kinds of related items.
And we're going to be there today.
Science fiction,
If we're not there
fantasy,
right now,
horror.
we might be there right now. We
Yeah,
don't know.
if you see us there coming up, say hello. We'd love to say hello to
These
you.
will be our costumes, although I probably won't wear this suit and tie.
You'll be going as a talk show host.
Yes, incognito,
I'll be going as, well, it's a
as
secret.
yourself. Oh, there you are.
Oh, darn it. The jig's up now.
Yes.
So that's going on. All kinds of cool
that's
things.
one of my costumes.
There should be people there in
Does that have
costumes.
anything to do with Comic-Con, or is that people who just paint their
Oh,
breasts?
no, people like to dress up. There'll be special guests that they're bringing in.
There's
people,
a lot of special
people
guests.
well known in the comic, fantasy, science fiction world.
I'm glad I'm glad you put a thing there because I don't recognize any of these people.
That's Predator in the center.
That's not him. That's his wife.
Captain America on
Look
the
how
right.
her hair's done.
Oh, Mrs. Predator.
Mrs. Predator.
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 Yes. And there's
Who's that?
Miss Camel Toe there in the center.
Isn't that Madonna?
Those are Supergirls.
Or somebody? Well, anyway, that's Comic-Con, and that is, what'd you say, Convention Center today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow.
It's different days, cost different amounts of money to go, but there's probably lots of things. Last year, who's the guy? Stegner? He did it. Troy Stegner did it last year, and he expected 1,000 to 2,000 people, and he got 6,000 people last year. So this year, being the second year, might be even better.
Bigger and better. Too bad there's not enough parking spaces for that many people at the convention center.
No, that's why they want to make the convention center bigger.
Now they want to enlarge it.
The city wants to enlarge it. They better enlarge it into a level parking, multi-level parking.
They need multi-level parking at the convention center, and they need it now.
You know what they said they wanted to do there? They wanted to put in a breakfast place.
Well, they're going to put a hotel in next door.
Well, and a breakfast place, and you got IHOP right across the street.
Right. So why?
And there's so many people.
So I don't think the city should be in the business of putting other
competing
businesses
with
out.
Separate businesses. Well, there's also a hotel. There used to be two hotels right across the street. Now there's actually 3 hotels if you go up Valley.
Well, there's 2 hotels nearby that have
convention
ballroom scenarios where you could have conventions.
You could.
And they used to have them there, but
now they took business away from them, and they're losing money at the same time. How do you take money away from people and lose money at the same time? Why don't you ask the city?
Well, you want to get government involved? That's how.
Yes.
Now, also going on this weekend, where you shouldn't have quite as hard a problem parking, is at St. Genevieve's annual fiesta going on there at the corner of Espina and Las Cruces Avenue.
Are you looking? Oh.
Las Cruces Avenue. Not at the church itself, it's over at their parish hall area.
That's the church that used to be downtown, but it's no longer downtown.
Right. They built
there's a statue in honor of that church still downtown.
They just removed.
Which has been moved because they're going to do a plaza downtown where they could probably have another fiesta. We're going to have so many places to have fiestas and conventions, and there's not even enough conventions and fiestas to come around. The guy from the convention center called me up this past week. Sorry, I didn't return your call, but I won't, because she wanted to know if Scene Fronteras, the writers group, wanted to do a convention in a 300-seat hall when we usually get about 30 people.
Right.
And it's poetry.
And you don't have to pay where you do it.
No. And you go in, you get out, you don't have to talk to anybody.
And you can have a beer while you're doing it.
Yeah. You could do it at the convention center too, but I mean, we have a nice bartender.
Yeah. Sure.
Joe the bartender, he was on our show. He did the first Negroni for us.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Also this weekend.
Yes.
We do have another fiesta.
This weekend.
The 16th of September.
Say it in Spanish.
Día 16 de Septiembre.
Very good.
Which is
Bob, can you say
Mexican independence?
I want to say, Bob, can you say that in Spanish? Día 16
de Septiembre.
Yes.
Mexican Independence Day going on in Mesilla this weekend.
Is that a picture of marijuana?
So go down. You want something to do? Go down to the plaza at in Old Mesilla. And there'll be vendors. There'll be music.
You know where that is? That's where all the good things are.
That's where all the traffic tickets are.
You know, last week was the wine festival. We couldn't announce that because we weren't on last week. That's right. Wine festival was really pretty darn good.
Well, I think they've heard you whine enough.
I love talking about wine. The wines aren't the best in the world, but they're pretty darn good. So it's worth going. And you get to taste so many different places. There's a winery from San Fidel, which is an hour west of Albuquerque, that does Riesling grown at 6,500 feet high, and it tastes like no other Riesling you've ever tasted. It's very good.
Well, that's interesting to
Anyway.
know. And that was last week, so I don't know why you're talking about it.
Because you can go look for a San Fidel Riesling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. With that, we're going to take a break.
We will take a break.
It's time for our commercial break, and we'll be back after these words.
And commercials. And pictures. And other stuff.
Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call this group now. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now. Don't wait.
Have you or a loved one suffered complications after uterine surgery from the use of a power morcellator? If so, call the Sentinel Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The FDA estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing a myomectomy or hysterectomy have unsuspected sarcoma or cancer in the uterus. The Sentinel Group's experienced network of attorneys have years of experience fighting big medical companies and is ready to fight for you. So if you've developed uterine cancer, call the Sentinel Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Fiesta Motors. Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there. Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
Yes, and we're back. This is Double Talk.
After talking food in the break, you know.
Yes.
They're lucky these flowers have not been eaten by us, because they look pretty juicy, don't they?
They do look nice.
We have our palm trees back in the back. Thanks again to Jill Somoza for her artwork last show we were
whatever
here. That was. Where are we? Oh.
Now, you know, coming up in a couple of weeks is the lunar eclipse.
What are you, some kind of astronomer?
It's on Sunday. Well, yes, I am, Michael.
Are you?
Little known fact.
A lunar eclipse.
Lunar
now,
eclipse.
What does that mean? That the moon disappears or the sun disappears? I don't know.
The moon.
Lunar is a street in Las Cruces, isn't it?
That means
that Luna.
The Earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon.
Oh yeah, as if. How does it know where the moon and the sun is? The Earth can't see; it just goes.
That's right, and then once in a while they happen to line up perfectly.
Really? Oh, does that mean that the Earth's going to be destroyed? Because the gravitational pull?
Yes, but not because of that.
Oh. What does that do to our tithes? Especially here in Las Cruces.
I don't tithe.
I don't want the tithe. You don't tithe?
I don't tithe.
Well, 10% of whatever, it's not going to save the church
No,
anyway.
the government takes too much for me to tithe as well.
Well, my yoga teacher said that there's going to be a solar eclipse, perhaps Tuesday. I can't remember what she said, because then we got confused because we're doing yoga. And she said the solar eclipse would only be a partial eclipse.
Yeah.
Is your lunar eclipse going to be total or partial? Do you know?
I think it's going to be fairly...
Take a bite out of it?
Fairly significant.
Total. Well, the other one that's going to be a solar eclipse is going to be visible in Africa.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I didn't think it mattered.
Depending on what type of where you are on the Earth will determine how total it is. Now, if it happens during the daylight for us here, then we won't see it.
Right, but if it happens in the moonlight,
right
during, you know, and when there's a sun eclipse of the sun, that means the Earth gets between the moon and the sun, and you can't see the moon reflecting off the sun anymore because we're in front of it.
That's a lunar
Can't think
eclipse,
of that.
Michael.
That's lunar? Then how does the sun get eclipsed?
The moon passes between the Earth and the sun.
So everything's from our point of view,
and it's eclipsed.
What are you're like geocentric? Is that it? You think everything goes around the Earth?
It's not that I think the Earth revolves around the sun or anything. That's what got Galileo into trouble.
I would hope not. You'd probably think that people could see well out of glasses, because Galileo also invented lenses. That's how he saw all this stuff, through telescopes.
That's right.
So you don't believe that glasses really help. I just do this for good looks.
Oh, I see. We'll get some better frames. Also, what's happening then this weekend?
This weekend.
Coming up.
Do we still have time for this weekend?
On Sunday.
We got like a day and a half left.
Isn't there Sunday happening?
Oh, tomorrow night. Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of a new year. You know, that begins a week of atonement so that on Yom Kippur we can all be put in the book of life and health.
What book?
The book. You think God remembers everything? He has to write it down.
Oh, you write it down.
Yes. So, not a great holiday for atheists, but it is a good holiday for atheists because it's a changing of the seasons. It's a recounting of your life, and you rethink what you did all year, and you hope to make it better. And also, you get a few meals, except for Yom Kippur, which is next week.
Well, you don't get to eat on Yom Kippur?
Not the day.
Oh, you have to fast all day?
It's a fasting day.
But then you, after sundown, you can eat again? Or what?
Oh, yes. No, I mean,
So-
you don't
so-
fast all day. You stop eating at sundown on the evening before it.
Yes.
Then you go the whole day. You know, you get really sloggy about 2
You
o'clock.
can't even have a smoothie?
Is that a drink or is that
Yeah.
some sort of sexual
It's a
thing?
blender drink,
Oh,
Michael.
a blender drink. No, you can't have a smoothie. You can drink water, apparently,
that's
because it's
it.
a desert.
You got to drink
And
something.
here you get dehydrated and it's not healthy. And
Can
we
you have
want
a
you to be healthy.
Can you have a cocktail?
I'm sure you could. But
Just
you
don't-
can't
just-
have any mixers like orange juice.
Oh.
But you could have tonic water.
Like a vermouth, maybe?
Tonic water. Oh, vermouth. I don't
You
see
can have
what's wrong with that.
a martini,
That's
just leave out the
religious.
olives.
Yes, that's exactly.
That's a good
Or
idea.
you could have a Gibson too.
There you go. And so Rosh Hashanah is coming up,
Yes.
and
So I'm sure Meyer is going to talk about that on his show.
you'll be having a party of some sort?
You know, you have a meal before you go to the temple and sit there for a while.
Okay.
First, that's when you could drink, but you can eat all during Rosh Hashanah.
It's good to know.
Yes, I'm sure you will eat all during Rosh Hashanah, whether or not you are Jewish or not.
Right. Maybe I'll have a little piece of fish.
Abyssal fish,
Well, maybe a trout.
an Austin trout,
Well, now that you
made
mention
out of
it,
a gefilte fish, Austin trout.
Austin Trout won his boxing match this
Look
week.
at that gefilte fish in his muscles. Those are some big gefilte fish.
And we mentioned him because he's from Las Cruces, trains under Rocky Burke, right here in good old Las Cruces, and he won his boxing match in the 5th round by
All right.
knocking the guy out.
Out, which is really good because the last time
Oh.
the other guy knocked his opponent, he didn't knock his opponent out. It was a TKO, I think.
Well, so was this. It was a decision knockout. He didn't actually knock him unconscious.
Why not?
He just knocked him, and the guy could not stand back up.
Well, that's
And the
pretty
ref said-
unconscious to me. Every time I
ouch.
can't stand up, it's
So,
unconscious.
anyway, congratulations, Austin.
and our sadness to and condolences to Serena Williams
You know, she
because
lost.
she didn't get the
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam.
3 out of 4 is
I
not
thought
bad.
when I heard it that she won it, I thought that's great. But man, you got to keep trying for stuff like that. That is really tough to hit every one of them.
Maybe next year. Now,
Hopefully.
coming up today,
Today,
right now, going on,
yes.
pet adoptions at Safe Haven.
Does that say pet? I think you wrote pet abortion.
Pet adoptions
Pet adoptions.
at Safe Haven.
Mm-hmm.
That's on their thrift store on El Paseo across the street from the Video 4 movie house.
Close to that, yeah.
And right there, they're having a sidewalk sale there also in conjunction with the
Sidewalk
thrift
sale.
store.
Bring your own paper bags because they don't provide bags for when you buy your pets.
That's right. And Safe Haven is a no-kill shelter. So
Don't worry about getting killed.
they don't euthanize the dogs and cats there. That's why they really need to adopt these pets out because they're running out of room.
Because they keep getting more and more pets.
And you can
Those are
find
very
it-
cute.
You find a cute doggy and kitty.
You might not find those two, but you will find the cute things. You know,
Something of equal value.
if it weren't for these two things, the internet would go down because
True.
this is the
Cat
most
videos.
traffic cat and dog videos. They're great.
They're irresistible. Now, it's only going on until 2 o'clock, so don't wait until then
There you go.
to get down there. Go down there now.
Yes.
And,
or in 3 minutes.
yeah, or as soon as the show's over.
Yes. What else is happening?
Well, tonight, you know,
Did we
have
miss anything here?
the free movies
I
in the
can't
park.
see what it says there. Okay.
Free movies in the park is going on tonight. They're showing the film Rudy, based on the true story of Rudy Rudiger.
Yes, he was. He came from behind and became famous. I don't remember why he was.
He
behind.
played- he
was
played
like
for Notre
4'2" or something.
He's a short little guy on the Notre Dame football
But
team.
he worked his
and
short
he
little
worked extra hard,
rear end off.
and he was able to overcome.
The worst short-ism there is. I mean, you got all those other isms and racism and sexism,
And,
but shortism,
right.
gosh, people always look down on you. They can't stop that. They just can't stop it.
But he became, after he went to college and everything, he became a motivational speaker. And we
There he
met
is.
Rudy when we were doing our previous TV
and he
show.
was pushing his movie called, what was the movie called?
Oh yeah, Rudy.
Rudy.
And we had him on the TV show then.
That was with Ruby D, right?
Rudy D.
Oh, Rudy D.
And so,
So go back and look at those
Rudy,
shows.
that's a free movie in the park.
Not free, but probably with more plot and more interest. The play Bob is at the Black Box Theater tonight.
Bob, a life in 5 acts.
It's really cute. You saw it last night, right?
Oh,
I saw it last week.
I think I'll see it on the Sunday matinee.
That should be good.
I understand P.J. Wagaman is in it.
Yes, he is. He's a.
Is his first play he's done since returning from Los Angeles?
That's true. Actually, everybody. Sam Damon's in it.
Yes, Sam Damon.
What's the guy's name? Bobby Senecal is in it. Bobby Senecal is the star, and he does a good job. And a lot of women whose names I can't remember. But it's a good play. Go see it. The Black Box Theater. They start at 8. If you get there after 8, forget about getting in.
No, no latecomers allowed.
Gone.
That's right. They're very strict over there.
Yes.
Now, also, we're talking about yoga.
We were.
And,
oh, yes, my yoga teacher.
Over at the High Desert Brewery on Sundays, I've just come to learn, they do a yoga class.
How appropriate, yoga and beer.
Now, they don't open for business on Sundays until noon. But before then, they do a yoga class.
What time is that start?
I believe it's at 10:30 or 11.
10:30?
Call over to High Desert to verify, but it's before they open. There's a yoga class for an hour. Then after that, for the $10, you get a yoga class, a glass of beer, and scrambled eggs. And breakfast. They make breakfast
Well,
for
you said scrambled eggs, but they might have more breakfast than that. They probably have a brunch, and this is a way to make people realize that they can come over and have things they could do brunches there.
And now that breweries can sell wine in New Mexico, you can have a glass of wine with your breakfast.
They do a beer-like wine,
Brunch.
a wine-like beer. They do a 12% beer.
Yes, they do. They call it,
The winest.
what do they call it?
Anyway, the last thing that's going on, we're going to have to get out. Boulevard, which was Robin Williams' last play, is at the movie. I confuse movies and plays.
I know you do.
It was his last movie before he committed suicide, and it's at the Hump Day movie at Cinema 10. Look up.
It's Wednesday.
Is Hump Day.
Yes.
If you've seen camels walking across your TV screen, you know that. And it should be good.
Would those be Bactrians or dromedaries?
I think it's a single hump. Which one's
Dromedary?
a single? Right, because D has 1 hump and B has 2 humps. That's how you keep them apart.
Well, listen, we're out of time.
We know how to keep ourselves apart. I'm
And
Michael
no
Mandel.
Humping here. Mark Steffen, thanks for watching. We'll be here next week, right here on Double Talk.
Double Talk 2.